$400 to replace a part that costs $14 to fix at home. And there's a 90% chance the part isn't even broken. Pop your hood right now. Find the black plastic tube between your air filter and your engine. That's where your $400 is hiding. It's called your mass airflow sensor, MAF for short. And almost every shop in the country has been quietly profiting from the fact that 99% of drivers have never heard of it. Your check engine light comes on. The shop runs a scan. The code points to the MAF. They quote, "You the replacement. You pay." The light goes off. What they don't tell you is that the sensor was never broken. It was just dirty. The fix takes 20 minutes, costs less than a movie ticket, and protects a part of your engine that runs $1,000 to $2,500 to replace when it dies. Stick around. There's a 10-second flashlight check at the end that tells you, without a single tool, whether your MAF is already dragging your fuel economy down by 3 to 5 miles per gallon. Most drivers fail it without knowing. Let me show you how the trap actually works. Quick disclaimer before we start, the tips and guides in this video are for educational purposes only. Every vehicle is different, so please use this information at your own risk. We are not responsible for any damage or injury that may occur. When in doubt, always consult a professional mechanic. A customer's 2017 Camry had been hesitating on acceleration, with fuel economy dropping from 31 down to 24 miles per gallon and a steady check engine light she'd been ignoring for 2 months. The shop ran the scan tool. Code P0101 came up. P0101 means the MAF sensor reading is outside the range the computer expects to see. Most drivers see that code and panic. Most shops see that code and quote a replacement. The shop quoted her $420. She paid, light went off. Mileage came back. 3 months later, her oxygen sensor codes started. That's how the cascade begins. The thing she paid $420 for is a hot wire sensor. Inside the plastic housing sits a single platinum wire, heated to a specific temperature by the car's computer. Air rushing past the wire cools it down. The computer measures how much extra electricity it takes to keep the wire at that exact temperature, and that number tells it how much air is flowing into the engine. From there, the computer calculates how much fuel to inject. Think of it as a tiny thermometer that the engine trusts completely. When dust and oil from your air intake coat that wire, the heat transfer changes. The wire reads slow. The computer thinks less air is coming in than really is, so it cuts fuel. The engine runs lean. Hesitation, rough idle, MPG drops, code throws. Cleaning fixes this. A $14 can of CRC MAF sensor cleaner removes the contamination. The wire reads correctly again. Code's clear. Mileage returns. Total time, 20 minutes. That customer paid $420 for a brand new sensor she didn't need. According to repair quote data from Jerry's national database, shop MAF cleaning service runs $80 to $240. MAF replacement averages $200 to $500, plus another $50 to $180 in diagnostic fees on top. Replacement bills roughly 4 times what cleaning does. Guess which one the diagnostic flowchart at most shops recommends? The real question isn't why your sensor got dirty. It's why your shop never told you it could just be cleaned. Here's how a MAF sensor actually goes bad. Every mile you drive, microscopic dust particles slip past your air filter, even a perfectly clean one. Add oil vapor from your engine's PCV system, which routes crankcase fumes back into the intake. Mix in residue from oiled aftermarket air filters. If you run a K, an N, or AEM over 30,000 to 40,000 miles, all of that builds up on the hot wire as a layer called carbon coking. It's the same baked-on residue you'd find on an old stove burner, just at a microscopic scale. Once coking forms, the wire can't shed heat the way it's supposed to. The computer compensates. The fuel mixture goes off. The check engine light triggers, usually code P0101, sometimes P0171, which means system to lean. Here's the part that makes mechanics money. The diagnostic protocol at most shops follows a simple flowchart. Scan reveals MAF code. Verify sensor reading against expected range. Confirm code persists after clearing. Recommend replacement. Notice what's missing. Nowhere on that flowchart does it say attempt cleaning first. It's not there. It was never there. Because cleaning bills $50 to $80 in labor and brings in 0 parts revenue, replacement bills $200 to $300 in labor, plus $50 to $300 for the sensor itself, with a built-in 40 to 60% parts markup. The math runs itself. This is the part most drivers don't know. Industry data on MAF failures consistently shows that the majority of sensors flagged for replacement are not electrically dead, they're just contaminated. A $14 can of cleaner restores them, but the diagnostic flowchart at the shop never lets that option onto the invoice. One important note before we go further: about 20 to 30% of MAF problems are genuine electrical failures. Open circuit inside the housing, internal damage, broken hot wire. Cleaning won't save those. If you clean your sensor and the same code comes back within 50 miles of driving, your sensor really is dead and needs replacement. That's the limitation. Cleaning is the first move, not the only move. And here's the kicker. That $14 can of cleaner sitting at AutoZone right now is the same product the shops use when they do offer cleaning service. Same chemistry, same active ingredients. Same can on the parts counter behind your mechanic. They just charge you $80 to push the button. But the $400 sensor replacement isn't the worst part of this scam. The worst part is what dirty MAF data does to the rest of your engine over time. I'll show you the procedure first. Then I'll show you what skipping it actually costs. Here's the procedure. Total time, 20 minutes. Total cost, $14. Grab a can of CRC MAF sensor cleaner from any AutoZone, O'Reilly, or Walmart auto section. Berryman 2211 works too. Runs about $8. Do not substitute brake cleaner. Do not substitute carb cleaner. Do not substitute contact cleaner. Every one of those leaves a residue that kills the sensor permanently. CRC or Berryman, MAF specific. That's it. Pop your hood. Find the air intake tube between the air filter box and the throttle body. Your MAF sensor sits in that tube, usually a black plastic housing with a 4-pin or 6-pin electrical connector plugged into it. Disconnect the negative terminal on your battery first. This step prevents your computer from logging garbage data during the cleaning. Skip it, and you can trigger a relearning issue. Unplug the electrical connector at the MAF. Pinch the release tab, pull straight back. Most cars use 2 T20 Torx screws or 2 spring clamps to hold the sensor in place. Remove them. Pull the sensor out carefully. Look inside the housing. You'll see a small wire or thin film element. Do not touch it, ever. That platinum wire is thinner than a human hair. One bump from your finger bends it permanently. A bent wire reads wrong forever. You've just killed your sensor. Hold the sensor with the wire pointing down. Spray the CRC cleaner in 2 to 3 short passes. The cleaner dissolves the coating and runs out the bottom. Don't drown it. Don't pressure blast it. 2 to 3 light passes is the entire job. Set the sensor on a clean shop towel, wire side up. Let it air dry for 5 minutes. This part is non-negotiable. A wet sensor plus battery power equals a dead sensor. Reinstall it the way it came out. Same orientation. Tighten the screws snug, not gorilla tight. Reconnect the electrical plug until you hear a click. Reconnect your battery. Start the car, let it idle for 2 minutes, then drive normal for the next 50 miles. The computer needs that distance to relearn the new sensor reading. Check engine light usually clears itself inside that window. That's it. 20 minutes. $14. Done. If you've made it this far and you're realizing you've probably been overpaying for years on this exact scam, hit subscribe right now. Next week, I'm dropping the full list. The 7 sensors shops always replace when they should just clean. Throttle position, oxygen sensor, intake, air temperature, 4 more. If you've already paid for any of those replacements in the last 5 years, that list will tell you what you've actually been buying. Now, here's the part that should make you angry. When the MAF sensor runs dirty for months at a time, the computer doesn't just throw a code and call it a day. It compensates. It adjusts the fuel mixture to keep the engine running. And every one of those adjustments costs you money downstream. Start with fuel economy. Independent automotive testing shows a dirty MAF can drop your mileage by 10 to 20%. For the average American driver, that's roughly 13,500 miles per year on a 24 mpg baseline. Do the math. You're burning 100 to 150 extra gallons of gas every year just because that platinum wire is coated in soot. At $3.20 a gallon, that's $320 to $480 per year, gone, not in one bill, gone slowly, one fill-up at a time. Then come the misdiagnoses. A wrong fuel mixture makes your oxygen sensors read wrong. So shops replace oxygen sensors. $200 to $400 a pop. They sometimes recommend a throttle body cleaning service. $150 to $300. Idle air control valve cleaning. $200 plus. Every one of those parts is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The bad data from the MAF is just lying to them. Now the worst one, the cascade kicker. When the engine runs rich for too long, unburnt fuel keeps reaching the catalytic converter. The converter is built to burn off small amounts of unburnt fuel. It is not built to handle a steady stream of it. The internal substrate overheats. The honeycomb structure melts or coats over with carbon. The converter clogs, power drops. The check engine light comes back with a new code, P0420. That replacement runs $1,000 to $2,500 per converter. Some V6 and V8 engines have too. You can do that math yourself. Now, stack the layers. The sensor replacement you avoided, $400. The annual fuel savings, $320 to $480 per year. The misdiagnosis chain you prevented, $200 to $400. The catalytic converter cascade you stopped, $1,000 to $2,500. A single $14 can of cleaner, used every 30,000 miles, protects all of it. Over the lifetime of a car that hits 200,000 miles, that's roughly $100 in cleaner versus $2,000 in cascade repairs. The industry doesn't profit from prevention. It profits from cascade. Every dollar you save with a $14 can is a dollar a shop loses on the invoice they would have written. That is the entire reason cleaning isn't on the diagnostic flowchart. One more limitation worth noting. If you run an aftermarket oiled performance filter, K and N, AEM, or anything in that category, you accelerate the contamination. Excess filter oil migrates into the intake stream and coats the MAF faster than dry filters do. Multiple manufacturer service bulletins flag this exact pattern. If you're running an oiled filter, clean your MAF every 15,000 miles, not 30,000. That is the cost of that filter's flow benefit. And one quick favor before we wrap. If you've ever been quoted by a shop to replace your MAF sensor, drop the price they quoted you in the comments below. Year, make, the number. I want to see how deep this pattern runs across this audience. Here's what you do this weekend. 4 steps. None of them take more than 20 minutes. Step 1. Buy the cleaner. CRC MAF sensor cleaner, $14 at AutoZone. Or Berryman 2211, around $8. One can cleanse your sensor 6 to 8 times. That's a decade of coverage for most drivers. Step 2. Schedule the cleaning. Every 30,000 miles as routine. Every 15,000 miles if you run an oiled performance filter. Mark it on your phone the same way you track oil changes. Step 3. The 10-second flashlight check I promised you at the start. Right now, you can grab a flashlight from your kitchen drawer and walk out to your car. Pop the hood, find the air intake tube. Loosen the clamp on the MAF housing side and pull the tube off just enough to see inside. Shine the flashlight on the sensor element. Clean wire looks like polished silver. Bright, reflective. That's a healthy sensor. A dusty wire looks gray or brown. A heavily contaminated one looks black or fuzzy with buildup. If your wire looks anything other than clean silver, you're already losing 3 to 10% on your fuel economy right now. That check costs nothing. It takes 10 seconds. You'll know in those 10 seconds whether you've been throwing $30 a month away on extra gas. Step 4. After cleaning, monitor your mileage over 2 full fill-ups. If your MPG comes back, the sensor was just dirty. Job done. If it doesn't recover within 100 miles of normal driving, or the codes throw again, your sensor really is electrically failed and needs replacement. That's when the $200 to $500 replacement bill is legitimate. Cleaning first proves whether the sensor is salvageable. Replacing first without cleaning is how shops charge $400 for sensors that were never broken. One last set of exceptions. This protocol works for the vast majority of passenger vehicles. If you drive a turbocharged engine that uses a MAP sensor instead of a MAF sensor, you don't have this part, and this hack doesn't apply to your car. If you drive a BMW or Mercedes with a hot film MAF, use CRC only and don't spray pressure directly into the housing. Hot film sensors are more delicate than hot wire. If you drive a Honda or Acura with an integrated MAF and intake air temperature sensor, both elements share the same housing. Clean both with the same passes. $400 bill that should never have existed. $14. Fix that 99% of drivers never make. That gap is the entire reason the auto repair industry has a parts department. Your engine doesn't need a new sensor. It needs you to clean the one it has. Print that on the inside of your garage door. If this just saved you $400 over the next 6 months, hit that like button. Every like pushes this video past the algorithm and into another driver's feed before they pay for the same scam. And drop your shop quote in the comments. Year, make, the number they tried to charge you. Let's see how deep this pattern runs. Next up, the full list. The 7 sensors shops always replace when they should just clean. Throttle position, oxygen sensor, intake, air, temperature. 4 more I'm not naming here because each one of them has its own dollar number attached. Click now and find out which one of these is sitting on your last repair invoice. Every script, edit, and voiceover on this channel is crafted with real human expertise, not mass-produced content. If this helped you, subscribe for more.